Good day. We're Group 8, and we're going to talk about Sister Callista Roy's adaptation model and Rosemarie Parse's human becoming theory. So the members of our group are Maria Lea Cobrador, Gilda Guerrero, Bernadette Mendoza, Regina May Ocampo, and I, Fritzy Villegas. So let's first talk about the adaptation model by Sister Callista Roy. So I'm going to discuss Sister Callista Roy's background. First, she was a member of the Sisters of St. Joseph of Carondelet. She was born on October 14, 1939 in LA, California, and she got her Bachelor of Science in Nursing degree in 1963 at Mount St. Mary's College. Afterwards, she got her master's degree in nursing in 1966 from UCLA, and after that, she wasn't that contented yet, so she got her degrees in sociology, such as her master's in 1973 and doctorate in 1977. She's also a known pediatric staff nurse, so her theory basically started in pediatric nursing. So now I'm going to discuss the adaptation model. First, the first part is about the philosophical underpinnings of her theory. So first, she defined a person as a holistic adaptive system, and basically it is the focus of nursing. Second, she defined environment as that it consists of all internal and external phenomena or stimuli that surround the human adaptive system, and basically it affects a person's development and behavior. Examples of this are focal, conceptual, and residual. She also defined the term coping mechanisms, which are innate or acquired processes that a person uses to deal with environmental stimuli. She also defined health as an outcome of positive adaptation if the patient was able to gain the proper coping mechanisms and apply them effectively. And lastly, she defined nursing, which is its goal is to promote adaptive responses by altering and managing the environmental stimuli that puts stress on a person. For the assumptions, Gilda will discuss it.
Thank you. I'm Gilda. I just want to explain to you regarding the assumptions. The assumptions, the person is a biopsychosocial being. Another one is the person is a constant interaction with a changing environment. And the next one, health and illness are inevitable dimensions of the person's life. And the next one, to respond positively to environmental changes, the person must adapt. The next one, the person adaptation is a function of the stimulus he is exposed to and his adaptation level. The next one is the person adaptation level is such that is compromised a zone, indicating the range of stimulation that will lead to a positive response. And the next one, the person has 4 modes of adaptations. Number 1 is physiologic needs. Number 2 is self-concept. Number 3 is role function and interdependence. And it also includes system of matter and energy, progress to higher level of self-organization. Another assumption is consciousness and meaning are constructive of person and environment integration. The next one, humans by their decisions are accountable for the integration of creative processes. The next one, system relationship include acceptance, protection, and fostering of interdependence. And the last assumption is person use human creative abilities of awareness, enlighten, and faith. Now I'm going to discuss to you about the advantage and disadvantage. For the advantage, it has a broad scope that may be applied and generalized to all nursing practice setting. It's also include for the scientific knowledge to practice and also clinical assessment and intervention. It's also help in research valuables and guide nursing practice to organize nursing education. It's also helped in curricular framework for various nursing colleges. And Roy adaptation model have been used extensively as a conceptual framework for nursing curriculum and translate for use of practical nursing setting, promoting direct purpose. The RAM may be also be applied to the nursing practice utilizing of nursing process to assess behaviors affected by stimuli and develop intervention and to promote positive adaptation. For the disadvantage, it is difficult to classify certain human behaviors because concept definition overlap and it's harder to categorize them exclusively. That's the end of my report. The next reporter will be Maria Lea Cobrador. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Maria Lea Cobrador, and today I'm going to talk about the Human Becoming Theory by Rosemarie Rizzo Parse. For her background, Rosemarie Rizzo Parse is a graduate of Duquesne University, Pittsburgh. She received her master's and doctoral degree from the University of Pittsburgh. She published her theory of nursing, which is Man Living Health, in 1981 and changed to a theory of human becoming in 1992. She has published books and hundreds of articles about her theory, an editor and founder of Nursing Science Quarterly. Rosemarie Rizzo Parse developed the theory of human becoming, now known as the Human Becoming School of Thought, through a combination of concepts from Martha Rogers and from existential phenomenological thought. For the philosophical underpinnings, first is structuring meaning, which consists of imaging, valuing, and languaging. Imaging is an individual's view of reality. Valuing is how person confirms and do not confirm in light of a personal perspective or worldview. And last one is languaging, which is it symbolizes and express their images, realities, and their value priorities. The next one is configuring rhythmical pattern, which has also three concepts: revealing, concealing, enabling, limiting, connecting, and separating. The third one is contrascending with possibles, which has also three concepts, and they are powering, originating, and transforming. The role of nursing for this theory is to assist client to illuminate meaning, synchronize rhythms, and mobilize transcendence in their lived experiences. There are four assumptions under this theory. First, human becoming is structuring meaning, freely choosing with situation. Next is human becoming is configuring rhythmical human universe patterns. Third, human becoming is contrascending illimitably with emerging possibles. And fourth, human becoming is human universe co-creating a seamless symphony. Out of these four assumptions, there were three themes that was developed, and it will be discussed by Bernadette.
Hi, good afternoon. So I'm going to discuss about among all of these four assumptions, there were three themes that was developed. First is the meaning. It is the significance of something and is chosen by the people. It is also the values reflect what is important in life to a person or a family. Also, it is imaging as an individual's view of reality and a person's interpersonal meaning of possibility and consequences. The next one will be the rhythmicity. It means that the human becoming create their patterns in a day-to-day life, and these patterns tells about the personal meaning and values. Also, it has three concepts. It is the revealing, concealing, enabling, limiting, and the connecting, separating. The third one would be the transcendence. It means that a person's continuously change and unfold in life as they engage with and choose from infinite possibilities about how to be, what attitude or approach to have, and whom to relate with, and what interests to explore. Also, it has three concepts: the powering, originating, and the transforming. And now we're going to discuss about the advantages and the disadvantages of the human becoming theory. First is the advantages. One of the advantages is it changes the thinking, acting, attitudes, and the approaches that professionals rely on to fulfill their intentions with others. And with regard to the disadvantages, the major concepts of the theory are defined in the abstract philosophical terms. Does it too complex for nursing novices to use in practice? Now, the key differences of adaptation model and human becoming theory will be discussed by Ms. Fritzy.
Hello. Now I'm going to discuss the key differences of Roy's adaptation model to the human becoming theory by Parse. So first, the adaptation model assumes that to cope with a changing world, a person or the patient uses both innate and acquired mechanisms which are biological, psychological, and social in origin. So, in short, the person when she's born is she already has this innate coping mechanisms, and as she grows older, she can learn more coping mechanisms from other people as well as from her experiences. Another assumption of this adaptation model is the nursing's goal is to promote adaptive responses by altering and managing environmental stimuli. So the nurse's job in this model is emphasized that he or she should help the patient by teaching him or assisting him in choosing the right coping mechanism to be used in a certain situation. On the other hand, the human becoming theory by Parse says that the attention should be directed to the person's meaning of health and quality of life, as well as their wishes, needs, concerns, and preferences for information and care. The nurse's goal in this theory is to assist clients to find meaning in their experience. So basically, in Parse's theory, it emphasized that the nurse should ask the patient what is her definition of health, ask her priorities in concern to her illness, and guide her in choosing the right intervention in adapting to the problem that she has identified. So basically, in this theory, nurses are just like their guides to help the patient, and respect is also expected from nurses. For in this theory, it is emphasized that the patient has the right to choose for himself. So for the values and usefulness to nursing of the two theories, Bernadette will discuss it again.
Hi, good afternoon again. So I'm going to discuss about the value and the usefulness of these two models in nursing profession. So first, regarding the adaptation model for Sister Callista Roy. So this theory has been used extensively as a conceptual framework for nursing curriculum and translates for the use in the practical nursing settings, promoting a direct purpose. Also, it is used to apply in the nursing practice, utilizing the nursing process to assess behaviors affected by the stimuli and develop interventions that promote positive adaptation. With this, Sister Callista Roy adaptation model helps us to understand that as nurses, we can modify our patients' health by manipulating their environment. For patients are adaptive beings, so they tend to adapt to how they perceive their environment, which could also affect the patients in both positive and a negative way. On the other hand, Parse's model for human becoming emphasizes how individuals choose and bear responsibility for the patterns of their personal health. That as nurses, it is our role to give the patients the options regarding to their health, and it is the patients who will still choose which among the health options that we give them or we teach them will they choose about their depending on their priorities in life. Also, most of the time, these patients decide about their health while taking in consideration about the learning experiences that we had from the past. So with that, Ms. Reg will discuss about the conclusion.
Hi. As for our conclusion, in summary, both theories are useful for nursing practice. Parse's model of human becoming emphasizes how individuals choose and bear responsibility for patterns of personal health. However, when it comes to clarity, simplicity, and accessibility, Roy's adaptation model is easier to use by nurses with different levels of expertise. For example, the patient who is diabetic had an accident while on his work at the construction site. In taking care of this patient, the nurse should be able to assess what are the external and internal stimuli that could have caused the illness, assess the patient needs, and in the process, help the patient adapt to the changing environment by addressing the patient's holistic needs, physiological, psychological, spiritual, etc., and assisting him in learning and choosing the best coping mechanism that may be most effective in his situation. We strongly believe that person's interaction with the environment, which is the source of stimuli, will greatly affect and challenge how effective and ineffective his or her coping mechanism. Thus, we prefer the adaptation theory since it emphasizes the important role that nurses play in helping the patient adapt to the changes in physiological needs and environmental during health and illness. Thank you.